Seems like the idea of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is getting further and further away, with Xenoverse 2 still getting content this far out from release. It's been the better part of 2 years since the Switch release and a better part of 3 years since the original release on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Not that I'm complaining, I really love playing Xenoverse 2 on my Switch, and the more characters the better. Just as long as they don't keep up the trend of having less and less DLC characters the farther they go along, which has been the case for the past 2 packs that have come out. Now let's see if this pack is an improvement or if it keeps up that trend. Here is my review of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Ultra Pack 1 for the Nintendo Switch. Like many before it, Ultra Pack 1 is an expansion pack for Xenoverse 2 that adds new playable characters, missions, and unlockables for your custom characters. But just like I've done with previous DLC packs, let's talk about the free update that came out with this DLC and the paid DLC, comparing content. In the free update, you get a new transformation for Saiyan characters, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, new figures and missions for the Hero Coliseum, and a lot of balances and tweaks to both skills and characters. And most noteworthy here are a buff to the skill Super Gallic Gun and some stat changes in a lot of the characters, particularly Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku becoming less of a glass cannon. Now when you buy the paid DLC, Ultra Pack 1 gets you 3 playable characters, Vegeta in his Super Saiyan God form from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, Ribrianne in her transformed state, and finally Vegeta in his Super Saiyan Blue Evolution form from the end of Dragon Ball Super's Tournament of Power. Now there are some ups and downs to this roster selection. On the downside, we're getting 2 versions of Vegeta in one DLC pack, so we might as well just be getting 2 characters instead of just one, Ribrianne and 2 Vegetas. But on the other side of things, these are 2 extremely popular forms of Vegeta that have never been playable in video games outside of card-based games like Super Dragon Ball Heroes. It's also pretty clear that they put a lot more effort into the designs of these characters, both in terms of how they play and how they look. Gogeta from the last pack basically was just a palette swap of the original Gogeta model that was already in the game. These, however, are pretty different outside of just hair and eye color. The model they used for Vegeta Blue Evolution looks almost exactly like its anime counterpart. It's got the darker colors, but there's also the sparkle effect to the character's aura, as well as the increased muscle mass that came with that form, just like the Super Saiyan Grade 2 form Vegeta used in DBZ against Semi-Perfect Cell. Super Saiyan God Vegeta doesn't have as many differences from the original model as Blue Evolution does, but he does have a pretty unique and different looking aura, along with a lot of really cinematic skills that replicate scenes from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. And apart from cosmetics, they also fight very differently. They've got different skills, of course, but all of their basic combos are very different, all the way down to the really simple combos you can do. So it does give you a kind of feel of their different characters once you actually start playing around with them and not just looking at the way they look. Of course, that's just for the newly added characters that are just forms of previous characters already in the game. Ribrianne, on the other hand, is completely new and unique to the game. While it's not an exaggeration to say she's a very disliked character in the Dragon Ball community because of how much overexposure she got in Dragon Ball Super, playing as her is very different than playing as the other characters. She's got a unique fighting style, all of her skills are new, and all around she's one of those characters that it feels almost like you're playing a completely different game once you start messing around with her. Outside of playable characters, this has the normal DLC amount of content. You've got 5 new parallel quests, and a bunch of skills, costumes, accessories, and super souls you can unlock for your custom characters by completing those quests. Now let's talk about the skills for a second. You've got 10 new skills you can unlock in this DLC for your custom characters, which is more than we got from past DLC packs, but it's worth noting that not all of the new character skills are yours to unlock. Blue Evolution Vegeta has a few skills that are completely exclusive to him, including his new ultimate attack, Super Gallic Rush, and I believe his normal skill variant of Final Flash is also unobtainable through those PQs. A big thing about the DLC pack is getting all of the new skills from the new characters for your custom characters, so it's probably good to know that not all of those skills are obtainable. Now when it comes to content, this is pretty similar to the previous pack, but it is an improvement. After all, the last 2 DLC packs only gave us 2 characters apiece, whereas this one gave us 3. But just like the previous pack, it's probably only going to take you 2 or 3 hours to get through all the parallel quests, even less, depending on what you want to unlock and what you don't want to unlock. But considering there are more skills to obtain, which seems to be the biggest thing that everybody wants to unlock, myself included, it's still an improvement. Now in conclusion, Ultra Pack 1 brings some fan-favorite characters, mostly in the form of Vegeta and another Vegeta, to the world of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now on the downside, we're still not quite up to the amount of content the pre-Extra Pack 3 DLC packs were giving us, and there's a bunch of skills for the characters added in this pack that cannot be obtained by the player character. But if you're a Vegeta fan and want to play around with his God and Blue Evolution forms, they're very well made characters and fun additions to the game's roster. Reviews to Go rates Ultra Pack 1 for the Nintendo Switch an 8 out of 10. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.